Hi everyone! So, in this video, I will explain about what is literary device. Language devices or literary devices are techniques that writers usually use to make their writings more attractive and have special effect. And the writers usually use these techniques to convey the information, to convey the expression, to convey the feelings, the emotion of their writings so the readers can understand more on a deeper level. Then the question is, why should we know about literary devices? The first reason is because when we know or we can identify the literary devices, we can understand about the purpose or the overall meaning of a written text, and it will be more clear for us to understand it. And for the second reason, literary devices can make the text more fun and interesting to read. Usually you will find literary devices on novels, poetry, poems, short stories, and many more. And when you don't know or you have a little knowledge about literary devices, you might be a bit confused and hard to understand the meaning behind some sentences in those texts. There are so many kinds of literary devices, maybe more than 20, and I will try to explain it briefly. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. Those types of literary devices are categorized in some category. The first is figurative language. And the meaning of figurative language is a language that is not meant to be taken literally or word for word. So the first one is simile. Simile is like a comparison between two unlike things or two different things that is compared using the word as, like, or than in the sentence. The example of simile is the leaf spun to the ground like a descending helicopter. And in that sentence, it is comparing two unlike things, that is the leaf and the helicopter, and the way they descending or the way they come to the ground is similar. So there is a comparison using like. And then the next is metaphor. Metaphor is a comparison between two unlike things or two different things to point out the similarity but different with the simile. Metaphor does not use the word like, as, or than to compare the two unlike things. And different with simile, this metaphor, the comparison is not meant to be taken literally. The example is, life is a roller coaster. The meaning behind the sentence is, when you see a roller coaster is have a lot of like up and downs. So it means that life is also have a lot of up and downs like a roller coaster. So the sentence will be, life is a roller coaster. The next is hyperbole. Hyperbole is an intentional and extreme exaggeration. And hyperbole have this effect, that is emphasizing. The example of hyperbole is, I died of embarrassment. It means died is not really died, but it means that he or she is full of embarrassment until he couldn't bear it and he feels so ashamed, very embarrassed. That's why he or she used the word died as an exaggeration and emphasizing the way he feels or she feels. And the next category is sound devices. Sound devices focus more on the sound rather than the meaning of the words. So the first is repetition. So in repetition, the writers purposely repeats words or phrases. The writer is trying to emphasize a certain idea or create a rhythm. The example of repetition is, it was all gone, burned to ashes. He had no clothes, no hatchet, no blankets, no map. It was all gone. Based on the sentence before, we can see that the writers repeat the phrase it was all gone twice. So, this means that the writers want to emphasize the condition of the man that have nothing at all because it all burns into ashes. And the man didn't have anything left anymore. The next is alliteration. Alliteration means that there is a repetition of a sound at the beginning of words. The example is Coca-Cola, Timmy Tam, and Miserable Morning. You can notice these three has the same sound of the beginning of words. Coca-Cola, C and C, Miserable Morning, M and M, and Timmy Tam, T and T. Okay, the next literary devices we have allusion. Do you know what is allusion? So the meaning of allusion is a reference in one story to a well-known character or event from another story, history, or place. The example of allusion is, don't act like a Romeo in front of her. So the meaning behind the example is, Romeo actually a reference to a Shakespeare's character in his book that is Romeo and Juliet. And in his book, Romeo is a passionate lover of Juliet. So, don't act like a Romeo in front of her. It also means that don't be too passionate in front of her. And then we have tone. So, tone is the author's attitude toward a subject revealed by the choice of words and the details. Here is the example of tone. After you read the sentence, you can see that the author feels sorry toward the girl who is not playing with the other children. Okay everyone, that's all that I can explain. I'm so sorry I cannot explain the literary devices one by one because it's very much and I think the video will be very long if I explain it. So, thank you for watching video. Have a great day and goodbye.